To them, you're just a freak. Like me. They need you right now. When they don't, they'll cast you out. Like a leper. See, their morals, their code. It's a bad joke. Dropped at the first sign of trouble. They're only as good as the world allows them to be. I'll show you. When the chips are down, these civilized people, they'll eat each other.
I am 24. Today I'm going to give you my first impressions of Death Stranding. Yes, first impressions, as in I have not played the entirety of the game. It's like 40 hours. I've been playing it ever since like 6 or 7 o'clock Friday. I played it through the KSI versus the Logan Paul fight. They were punching and stuff like that.
I'm really proud of this trick. I'm really proud of this trick. I'm doing that shit.
My Cowboys lost again against that damn Vikings. Thank you, Jason Garrett. Thank you, Jason Blinkman Garrett. We could have been 6-3. Instead, we're 5-4. Another topic for another day. But today, I'm gonna give you my first impressions on the video game. It's good in some spots. It's bad. It's not good. It's great in some spots. It's kind of bad in other spots. I think that comes with some of the pacing elements of the game. I do think once you start to get into a flow, into a rhythm within the game does become fun. One of the things that's kind of shocking to me is how easily people have just labeled this game as bored or boring while they're playing it. And to me, it's like, well, if you expected this game to be some type of Uncharted 4, some type of God of War, some type of Metal Gear Solid, you're gonna be severely disappointed. Because that's not what this game is supposed to be. I don't get why people keep on comparing this game to Metal Gear Solid 5. Yes, it's made by the same person, but he's made it obvious that this is a completely different game. And it's so surprising to me how easy people are just, not just easy, but how constant people are just throwing Kojima under the bus. Did I like this game? Yes, I actually do. Do I like everything about it? No, I don't. Do I think that there are some pacing issues with the story? Yes. Do I think that there are some convoluted concepts with the video game that really drag on for way too long? Do I think that there are, yes, of course. Do I think that there are some bad concepts with the level design and the map design that really make the mechanics of the game really, really hard to constantly play with? Yes, of course. One of those being is obviously the traversal. But I have seen so much BS just surrounding this video game for the past 4 days. I've seen some pretty weird shit for the past couple of days. And I'm going to address that here in a couple of minutes, but let me finish my thoughts on the video game. I haven't fully played every single part. I haven't died. I've been very, very thorough with this video game. I've taken this incredibly seriously. And when I look at this game sometimes, I think to myself, I'm like, I see where Kojima was going with this game. I see where he's trying to go with this industry. I see where he's trying to push this game. But at the same token, the execution is severely flawed. We can all agree the execution with this game is severely flawed. And I think what he's going to do is he's going to try and, he's going to try and rework some things around. He's going to try and do some new things. I think this is an interesting game with some interesting concepts in it. And I'll see, once I'm done with the game, I'll see what happens at the end. But overall, I think the story is really, really interesting, if not very, very slow-paced and at times kind of boring. But at the same token, I don't think that that's the adjective that I would use for the entirety of the game. Now, some of the things that I've seen throughout the past couple of weeks, they're just kind of appalling, really, by the video gaming industry. Some people should be just downright ashamed, especially the guy that reviewed. I'm gonna call this guy out right here, right now. The guy that reviewed the IGN reviewed Death Stranding for IGN should be absolutely ashamed of himself. Cause I saw some of the stuff in that video, and I was playing the game, and I was watching the review, and I was like, you're not even playing the game properly, right? There are times where he is using examples of how like the game's mechanics don't work properly and how some of the things are just terribly done, and he's just not playing the game properly. For instance, there's this one point where he's trying to show like how the weight management and the load management system is terrible, and he's over encumbered. Like he has 154 kilograms on his back, and he's only supposed to have 150. If you don't know how the game is, I'll show you some of my gameplay where I'm over encumbered, where I, as Norman Reedus or Sam Bridges, like he cannot move when he's over encumbered. It's terrible. It's horrible to play that game that way. But you can work around this system by using vehicles, by constantly distributing some of the pieces, by storing them in private lockers and mailboxes. There's ways to get around having a bunch of crap on Sam Bridges. There's ways to come back to this material. It's all very, very weird, and some of it's not very efficient, but you can do it, right? But then I saw this other example of him just falling down constantly, and I'm like, you didn't even play the game properly. It's so easy to get around Sam falling down all the time. Where's my controller? Literally, and he talks about how you have to like constantly like move the control stick, and you constantly have to alternate between L2 and Alt R2. Literally, all you have to do is this. This is it. That's all you have to do to get around Sam falling. Here's a clip of me falling without holding L2 and R2 with the same weight. Here's another clip of me holding L2 and R2 and being able to move properly very, very easily. And he's obviously doing it deliberately. And it's like the whole industry has come down on Kojima, and I'm like, you guys aren't even giving the fair examples. Like, I don't get it. Why do we accept this? Seriously, why do we accept this crap? Why do we accept the Maddens, the FIFAs, the NBAs that are just absolutely horrible, but then when it gets to Kojima, it's like, oh wait, his game is okay. It's a 6.8. It's borderline bad / mediocre. But then when it gets to Kingdom Hearts 3, a video game that actually put me to sleep, it's like, let's give it an 8.7. Let's give that an 8.7. And I'm not saying that Death Stranding is a great game. Not saying that at all. Not even saying that it's a good game. I think it's okay. I think they got the rating right. But what I do not understand and what I don't get is this constant bombardment by the community over and over and over again when it comes to this video game. And that's all I'm just trying to say. I don't get it. This is the line in the sand that we draw. We don't draw it with EA and 2K and all those other companies. But with Kojima, we're like, yeah, your game sucks and it's boring and blah, blah, blah. I would rather play Death Stranding for another 20 hours than play any of those games. Kingdom Hearts, Madden, FIFA, NBA for another 5 hours, if I'm honest with you. I actually enjoyed some of it. Didn't enjoy other parts of it. It is a game for specific people. Specific people will enjoy it. If you're not one of those specific people, it's going to drag on for you. But that's kind of my first impressions. That is kind of my rant. That is kind of my obnoxious attitude towards the industry right now. I cannot believe how ridiculous some people have been with this video game. But that's the video. This has been 24. Remember to like, comment, favorite, and subscribe for more. I don't know if I'll make another video about this. The new Star Wars game is gonna come out. I'm gonna get that game as well. I'm gonna make a couple of videos about that game. Also, Need for Speed Heat has apparently come out. I'm gonna wait for it to go on sale before I touch that game. I also want to make a video about Pokemon Sword and Shield before it comes out. But that's stuff that you should be looking forward to in the next couple of days or something like that. Until my next video, I hope you have a fantastic day. And I'll see you next time.
You feel me? Niggas is hypocrites. Hypocrites.